Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. In yesterday's episode we brought you information that Tom Johnston's rumoured deal to Catalan's Dragons has been reportedly confirmed. It seems to have got from bad to worse after their star man is leaving for Pastures New, as two other Wakefield stars have supposedly agreed to deals to leave the club for 2023. First of those was James Bachelor, has been rumoured to have completed a deal which sees him join Hull KR for 2023, as the 24-year-old moves on to he's had one appearance for Dewsbury on loan, but since he signed for Wakefield in 2016, he has gone on to play 82 games for the club, scored 10 tries and kicked 13 goals. As a player who was already coming to the end of the contract, he is seeking to seek Pastures New with the new Willie Peters regime that's coming into Hull KR for 2023 after the reign of Tony Smith comes to an end. Bachelor, who's a brother of Joe Bachelor, who's at St Helens, is looking to progress up the table after being with a club that has been near the bottom of the table for the last few seasons, with some exceptions obviously, but in their current predicament, being that they're close to the bottom of the table and only 2 points away from being overtaken by Toulouse to go foot of the table, I'm not sure if this is a move that he has thought could be a progression at this point in his career. As I said, only 24, so a long time in his rugby league career, and he sees that Hull KR could be a club to stay at the Super League level for years to come, with all the changes that are coming involved. The other shock departure news from what we are told and what has been reported is that Jacob Miller is on the way as well in 2023, and his new club is local rivals Castleford Tigers, as he joins them to hopefully progress himself under Lee Radford's regime. The 29-year-old Australian has been with Wakefield Trinity since 2015, since he moved from Hull FC, and has made 181 appearances for Wakefield Trinity, scoring 60 tries and kicking 18 goals. A product of West Tigers, as an NRL player where he made his professional debut, he came through the Sydney Roosters training yard as he signed for them from 18 onwards, and in 2011 got his crack in round 4 with the Tigers to make his debut. Now he's looking reportedly to go to Pastures New, and he sees the comfort of staying in the area where he lives, but going with Lee Radford to push on to bigger and better things, after years with a side that he has stayed loyal to for 6 years. A big miss this one would be if it goes through, because Jacob Miller is one of the stars, and with the rumours with two other players like David Fafita being off contract and looking for a move, or even, well, there's some good news on that front. There's a possibility that if they stay up, they could get Andrew Fafita coming to the club, as they're working with the same management company and they're hoping to play for the same club during their career. Anyway, I digress. The other player that has been heavily rumoured to be leaving is the other halfback, Mason Lino, and that would be a big blow if he goes to Wigan, which is rumoured to be his destination for 2023. This all depends on one thing though for Mason Lino: if Tommy Lulai retires. In other news, we have 2 Leeds players who are set to leave the club in 2023. Those being Jack Broadbent, the Starlets on the right, and Brad Dwyer, the talismanic hooker, who always brings fresh impetus into a game whenever he comes on from the bench. Dwyer is supposedly on the move to St Helens for 2023, so he returns to the Warrington postcode, while Broadbent is supposedly off with Lee Radford's regime change, as he is going to Castleford. We now turn our attention to the Super League, as there was a game on Thursday night in the UK after we see local rivals go at each other. And it's not a small derby either, as Warrington Wolves face St Helens in a battle of the Warrington postcode. Saints are being buoyed on by 2,300 away supporters making the short trip to Warrington, while Warrington Wolves are looking to get one over their local rivals and help them boost their season, as they're currently in 8th place. Warrington have been beaten by 2nd and 3rd in the last 2 games, as they were beaten off Catalan's Dragons 40 points to 8 and had 40 points put on them against Wigan Warriors the week before. And Daryl Powell is looking to set things straight against the team that are 2 points clear. Saints, though, are looking to make it 4 points clear with a victory over Warrington Wolves with the first game of the weekend. And Christian Wolf has only named 1 player difference to what their 21-man squad was last time out. Utility back Dan Hill joins the squad, replacing young winger Juma Sambo. So, who's in both of the teams? Saints are unchanged in their starting lineup and also on the bench, to be honest, as we see Sione Matautia play against his brother in the centres, directly against each other. Mark Percival continues in the wing position, as he played last time out against Hull in their victory. Ben Davis is going to be reshuffled around, as I reckon that Lomax will be a fullback like he has been against Hull, while Walsby is in the halfback role. Joey Lussick is the only ever present this year for St Helens, playing in some part in every single game for Saints in 2022. While Ignatius Passy will be the one that will be creating momentum off the bench. Warrington, though, are buoyed by the return of halfback Gareth Widdop, who missed the last 3 games through injury. This was due to Josh Thulis being unavailable after picking up a knee injury in round 12. Connor Wrench continues on the wing in place of how can I put it? Josh Charnley, who stay at the Warrington Wolves, comes to the end at the end of 2022. Stephen Rashford and George Williams are the halfbacks, but on the forward side, Joe Philbin starts for the Wolves, while Robbie Mulhern drops to the bench, and Ben Curry comes in for Ellis Longstaff, who drops out to the 17 completely. Danny Walker returns to the bench in place of Ellis Longstaff, but we see Matt Davis, the former Leicester player, joining the bench, but it's Jason Clark and Joe Bullock who make up the rest of the interchanges. Despite all the early pressure by Saints and the great defence, Peter Matautia gets to the 40 and passes out wide to Connor Wrench. He uses his pace to get right with Curtis Surinnan and finds a Gareth Widdop in support on his return and scores the first try of the game to make it 4 points to 0. Widdop unfortunately doesn't convert, but it's an early lead for Warrington Wolves. Connor Wrench's pace was at the fore in this example, and his pass inside showed maturity, and Wrench did really well to find Widdop. And Widdop did the rest by getting over for the four-pointer. Makinson's effort has to be noted. Now an interesting effort by Saints as they go over through Alex Walmsley, scoring a try. What seemed to have happened is Warrington are trying to catch St Helens offside at the scrum, as it was noted last week. But as they kept the ball in, Saints decided to push against the input, and the ball comes free due to this. And Alex Walmsley just kicks forward, picks it up, and scores. Keeping it in, fumble by Darryl Clark, Walmsley picks up, try. Makinson adds the extras for 6 points to 4. Saints are in again not long after a short kick is not fielded by Warrington, and they go to the left. An Ignatius passes long ball out wide to Conrad Hurrell, finds Tommy Makinson as he passes on, and he scores in the corner for Makinson to score a good work try. Makinson adds the extras, and it's 12 points to 4 to St Helens. Just like that. But that's how it stayed at half time. Look at this kick again, just short. Just something to get McCarthy Scarsbrook on the end of it. Roby was aware for the bits and pieces. Lomax passes it on. Good pass out wide by Passy, and then Conrad Hurrell's pass to his winger makes it a good night for Saints. But is it? After a great inside ball to Widdop, who comes on it at pace, he passes to George Williams, who goes over to close the scoring once again. It's a fantastic effort by Widdop and Matautia, finding the Saints' defence in broken field after a kick, straight from a kick return. Matautia fields the ball on the 40, finds a good ball, and the diagonal run by Widdop gets a bit of pace with Williams supporting, and Williams gets over for the second try for Warrington. Stephen Ratchford adds the extras, and the score is 12 points to 10. Midway through the second half. I have to say, it's the only try of the second half. But not the last bit of the action. Take 2. But not the last bit of the action. After a crossfield in his own 20 kick by George Williams, Connor Wrench goes on a run. But fantastic defence again from Tommy Makinson causes Wrench's pass to go forward, but it wasn't enough. There was not enough time left for Warrington to capitalise on anything extra. As St Helens ran out winners 12 points to 10 against an improving Warrington Wolves. So here's the reports on the game. West Tigers had to withstand the second half Bulldogs fight back to claim a 36 points to 22 victory win at the Lake Charter Oval on Friday night. So that ensured they avoided last place on the NRL ladder. The Tigers led 18-0 at half time, but Mick Potter's first half time speech since taking over at Canterbury's midweek coincided with a dramatic turnaround after the break. The Bulldogs piled on 3 unanswered tries, but the sin-binning of centre Aaron Shupp for a lifting tackle on the Stafford Toa turned the game back in the favour of the home team. They piled on 3 late tries to move ahead of their rivals on the ladder. While there was much attention on Brett Naden's midweek switch from Canterbury to West Tigers, it was the debut of another former Bulldog in Fa'amanu Brown that had a greater impact on the result, as he scored 2 second-half tries. The Tigers had to overcome the second-half sin-binning of star playmaker Jackson Hastings, who ignored the discomforts of a leg injury to lead his team to a 3rd win of the season. So, in a match snapshot, Luke Garner opened the scoring for West Tigers in just the 6th minute after lock Joe Effingagu Hengawa even, combined with Jackson Hastings to put the Penrith-bound second rower over with a short pass near the line. Tigers recruit Brett Naden, who was initially set to be named on the wing for the Bulldogs before midweek switch for the clubs, received a hostile welcome from his former teammates as Jaden Ockenbaugh, Jake Avarillo and Kyle Flanagan combined to bundle him into touch on his first touch of the ball. Tigers fullback Stafford Toa was held up over the line in the 12th minute, and Ockenbaugh denied Garner his second try just a minute later after he knocked a Jacob Liddell grubber into touch. The weight of possession was heavily in West's favour, and it finally told when Hastings put Toa over for a 15th minute try with a short pass close to the line. After winning the captain's challenge against a knock-on when he fielded a Kyle Flanagan bomb, Kiwis winger Ken Muamalo scored in the 25th minute after the Tigers spread the ball wide through Hengawa. I keep getting that wrong, I apologise. Hastings and Jot Madden, and then Naden. Muamalo then scored his second try so here's the reports on the game. West Tigers had to withstand the second half Bulldogs fight back to claim a 36 points to 22 victory win at the Elite Chart Oval on Friday night, so that ensured they avoided last place on the NRL ladder. The Tigers led 18-0 at half time, but Mick Potter's first half time speech since taking over at Canterbury's midweek coincided with a dramatic turnaround after the break. The Bulldogs piled on 3 unanswered tries, but the sin-binning of centre Aaron Shupp for a lifting tackle on the Stafford Toa turned the game back in the favour of the home team. They piled on 3 late tries to move ahead of their rivals on the ladder. While there was much attention on Brett Naden's midweek switch from Canterbury to West Tigers, it was the debut of another former Bulldog in Fa'amanu Brown that had a greater impact on the result, as he scored 2 second-half tries. The Tigers had to overcome the second-half sin-binning of star playmaker Jackson Hastings, who ignored the discomforts of a leg injury to lead his team to a 3rd win of the season. So, in a match snapshot, Luke Garner opened the scoring for West Tigers in just the 6th minute after lock Joe Hengawa even, combined with Jackson Hastings to put the Penrith-bound second rower over with a short pass near the line. Tigers recruit Brett Naden, who was initially set to be named on the wing for the Bulldogs before midweek switch for the clubs, received a hostile welcome from his former teammates as Jaden Ockenbaugh, Jake Avarillo and Kyle Flanagan combined to bundle him into touch on his first touch of the ball. Tigers fullback Stafford Toa was held up over the line in the 12th minute, and Ockenbaugh denied Garner his second try just a minute later after he knocked a Jacob Liddell grubber into touch. The weight of possession was heavily in West's favour, and it finally told when Hastings put Toa over for a 15th minute try with a short pass close to the line. After winning the captain's challenge against a knock-on when he fielded a Kyle Flanagan bomb, Kiwis winger Ken Muamalo scored in the 25th minute after the Tigers spread the ball wide through Hengawa. I keep getting that wrong, I apologise. Hastings and Jot Madden, and then Naden. Muamalo then scored his second try just seconds before half-time to give the Tigers an 18 points to the lead after Hastings combined with Toa to create an overlap on the left after a scrum win. It was a different Bulldogs in the second half to the team that was started in the first, and they immediately showed their intentions when Tavita Pangai Jr. Stepped his way through the Tigers' defence before putting Matt Burton over with a sublime flick pass in the 43rd minute. Hastings was sin-binned for a professional foul after tackling Pangai Jr. from an outside position after Jeremy Marshall-King broke into the clear in the next set of tackles after the restart, which meant that he could send Matt Duffy racing for the line, only just to be stopped short. Marshall-King then made the Tigers pay when he dived over from dummy half in the ensuing set of tackles, and Burton's conversion reduced Canterbury's deficit to 18 points to 12 with just 7 minutes into the second half. Lebanon international Jacob Kiraz scored his first NRL try in just his second appearance for the Bulldogs, but Burton missed the conversion from out wide. Momentum swung back to the Tigers' way as Canterbury had centre Aaron Shope sin-bin follow a lifting tackle on Toa in the 62nd minute, and the 12-men Bulldogs were unable to hang on. After replacing hooker Jacob Liddell in his first NRL appearances since playing for the Bulldogs 3 years ago, Batamano Brown extended the lead for his new club when he dived over from dummy half in the 63rd minute. Madden then all but sealed the win for the Tigers when he chipped over Duffy and win a race to the ball to extend the home side's lead to 30 points to 16 with just 10 minutes remaining. A disallowed Toa try gave the Bulldogs some hope, and when Burton scored and converted from out wide in the 75th minute, the game was still in the balance. But it was enough to see out the game in the favour of the West Tigers as they won 36 points to 22. Now for a game that usually throws up a classic, as we see two teams that will be hoping to win this match to improve their credentials to going in towards the end of the season playoff fixtures. We see Parramatta Eels face the Manly Sea Eagles as the two sides are both coming off Magic Round defeats. A third in 4 weeks from Manly, so the stakes will be high, and CommBank Stadium is sure to be buzzing. There's previous meetings in round 22 last year was resulted in a 56 points to 10 hammering for the Sea Eagles as Ruben Garrick piled on 28 points for Manly, just too shy of Ron Roll's record of 30 set way back in 1954. A repeat of that sort of scoreline is unlikely, but the Eels are sure to be on high alert as they confront a Manly backline packed with threats and desperate to make a statement after being scoreless in Magic Round. So looking at the two teams, first the Eels have no changes to the 24-hour update with Marata and Niokore confirming to return. Ryan Matterson has earned a start at lock after a strong season this year, shifting Nathan Brown to the bench. May Casivo has been named to return from an ACL injury in the New South Wales Cup in the curtain raiser to this NRL clash. For the Sea Eagles, Tom Travojevic has been named at fullback despite concerns over his knee, but brother Ben is out with a shoulder injury. His place has been taken by Morgan Harper. Josh Schuster is back from a calf injury. On the bench he will start, with Andrew Davey going into the starting side. Ethan Bulmore drops to being the 18th man. So here's the story of this game. A 79th minute sideline conversion by Mitchell Moses snatched a 22 points to 20 win for the Parramatta Eels as Manly were unable to hold on after losing Tom Trbojevic to injury. Trbojevic was in obvious pain after dislocating his left shoulder diving on a kick in the Sea Eagles in-goal area midway through the second half, and he's a serious doubt for the New South Wales in the June the 8th Origin opener. Manly led 20 points to 16 at the time and defended bravely, but they were unable to hold on without Trbojevic and the sin-binning of forward Sean Kepi in the 73rd minute. Mitchell Moses was also sin-binned just before half-time for a professional foul, and the Sea Eagles took advantage to take a 20 points to 10 lead, but were unable to hold on under the sustained pressure of the Eagles. Ruben Garrick opened the scoring on the 14th minute after Josh Schuster intercepted a Mitchell Moses pass, and Jake, kick actually, he caught it as the Eels halfback kicked for distance. And Jake Trbojevic, Kieran Foran and Tom Trbojevic, as well as Morgan Harper, shifted the ball left quickly to the goal-kicking winger, and in a few tackles later, it was a try for the Sea Eagles. The Eels hit back almost immediately when second rowers Isaiah Papali'i and Ryan Matterson combined before Moses, Dylan Brown and Ton Opicic shifted the ball quickly for the winger Hayes Perham to cross in the corner. Christian Tuapulatu put the Sea Eagles further ahead on the 21st minute when he scored in the corner after receiving a 20-metre cutout pass from skipper Daly Cherry Evans. Great Sydney Harbour pass, really was. In the case of anything you can do, I can do too, Eels captain Clint Gutherson laid on Perham's second try with a similarly long cutout pass for the unmarked winger to stroll over and score 10 minutes before half-time. Eels halfback Mitchell Moses was sin-binned just before the half-time for pulling back Tom Trbojevic as the Manly superstar backed up a Lachlan Croker break from dummy half. The Sea Eagles took advantage of the extra man on the 45th minute when Dylan Walker put Trbojevic in between Bailey Simonson and Will Penasini, and the star fullback sent Harper racing away to score. The return of Moses made little difference after Matterson put the ball down near the halfway and Garrick pounced on a foreign grubber to score his second try in the 51st minute. The Eels narrowed the deficit to 20 points to 16 when Sean Lane put Tom Opicic in over for the 60th minute try after running onto an inside ball from Gutherson and popping an offload near the line for the centre. Gutherson was the star of the Eels goal forward. He came on from the subs bench and did the most goal forward meters. Sea Eagles prop Sean Kepi was sent to the bin 7 minutes before the full time for a lifting tackle, and the Eels ramped up the pressure. Tupulotu denied Perham a third try, but was placed on report for a high tackle in the process. And it was too much to ask for Manly to hold on when Will Penasini scored 2 minutes before full time, which Moses secured the win with the 2022 for the home side with that sideline conversion. So as we said, it is the Eels that went on to win 22 points to 20. So that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as we need to get the word out for rugby league for everyone to get the sports growth going. We seem to be the ones that are doing it. Tell me what your thoughts are on this episode. St. Helens going on. Another win despite their injury concerns. Our team's going to start catching up though with how the Saints are playing and getting over when they are depleted in their ranks. Wakefield fans, are you losing your squad, your star players? What are you going to do to start again? And will this affect your 2022 season? Leeds, Brad Dwyer and Jack Broadbent are out the door for 2023. What do you make of that decision? Plus the NRL games, some fantastic results. Some heart shown by Canterbury in the second half, but it went out to 12 men and that curtailed their momentum. And Parramatta versus Manly, another spectacle, another good game in the NRL. Anyway, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. But in the meantime, please remember to share this video worldwide. And also, I'll wish you all the best. Please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.